EKG, you have to go through the entire airways in your mind. Okay? So let's say this first one. Okay? So here is the rhythm strip, right? You can see that something happened here. This patient was in this place. What would you say is happening? Looks like a normal reading, right? Regular. And what is the rate?
60.
Like in the 60s, right? That's the first strip. You all have the same one, right?
Yeah.
And then something happened. This rogue rhythm took over from here. So, exactly. What would you call this? It's paroxysmal supraventricular tachycardia. Good. Why would you call it SVT here?
We call it SVT because you can't differentiate the key
Exactly.
and the rates.
Thank you. You can't see the P wave. What if I say it's junctional? Sorry,
I'm sorry, I don't have the first page.
you don't have the first page. What happened to your first page? Now the problem is, how am I sure you're missing only the first page? I have something that looks like the first page here. You pass it down. Anybody else missing first page? That is human for you. One thing you can count on with any human being is that they will make a mistake. If you watch them long enough, does not matter how good they look, every human will make a mistake at some point. I learned that with the FBI.
What's going on?
That's the philosophy of the FBI. Does not matter. You have to figure out, or CIA.
Yeah.
You just put the guy on surveillance. It's a question of time. You will make a mistake. You can handle that. Every human being makes a mistake. I didn't make mistake. Who told me that? People cut in my hair. I flipped the clipper. I made a mistake. Did you notice that this side of my hair is lower than it should be? I cut by mistake, man.
I know the feeling, man.
Actually, my wife cuts my hair, right? But this day, I decided I'm going to do it myself.
I'm dead.
Anytime you fight with your wife, you're at risk. So what if I say, why can't this be paroxysmal junctional tachycardia? Thank you. Because look at this rate. This rate is definitely above 250. Right? It cannot be junctional tachycardia. Right? It is above 250 and you can't see P wave. That's what makes it paroxysmal supraventricular tachycardia. You got that? Okay, good. Let's take a look at this EKG. We go arrows, right? So we have a left axis, right?
Is it? It's more.
Right? AF is that right? So it's a left axis, right? The rate and the rhythm looks okay, right? The rate is about 100, a little over 100, right? And it's pretty regular. You don't even have sinus arrhythmia. Everything seems to be well spaced according to the right. Good. And the rate is about 100, so we're done with that. Orientation. Look at AVR. That R wave is kind of big, right? For that. But the whole thing is still flipped, right? And then I look over here and I see the V1, so that's all R wave there, right? So would you call right ventricular hypertrophy or not? It looks like it, right? Good. Excellent. Then now let's take a look at the waves. We'll start with the P wave. And
sorry, Dr. Martin. So just to retrace. So you're saying that we can call RVH without
Yes.
changes in AVR.
Because what is the parameter? Look at the change in AVR. That R is still prominent in AVR, right? Right? And because R is prominent in AVR and the whole thing is still flipped, the only thing that gives you that picture is right ventricular hypertrophy. Right? So in order to confirm it, you now go to the chest leads. And what is the parameters for right ventricular hypertrophy in the chest leads? An R that is more than S, right, in V1, or an S that is more than R in V6, right? Or a V1R plus a V6S that is more than 10. Those are the parameters for right ventricular hypertrophy, right? So what I'm trying to get you to understand here is that AVR is your clue. You cannot base diagnosis of right ventricular hypertrophy on AVR alone. But whenever you see a prominent R in AVR, you need to go to the chest leads and look for parameters for right ventricular hypertrophy. And the parameters are, in V1, anytime your R wave is more than your S wave in V1, you have a right ventricular hypertrophy. Anytime your S wave is more than your R wave in V6, you have right ventricular hypertrophy, the negative more than the positive. Or anytime your V1R plus V6S or Q is more than 10, you have right ventricular hypertrophy. Okay, so for sure you have that one here. Then let's talk about the P wave. Yeah.
But if I'm looking at right, V1, the R doesn't look like it's bigger than that S.
Yeah, it doesn't. That is not the criteria that makes it right ventricular hypertrophy.
So what criteria are you basing it on?
It is V1R plus V6S.
You said more than 10, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Whenever the V1R but V6S is more than 10, that is the sub parameter for. You have to definitely know what the parameters are for right ventricular hypertrophy and left ventricular hypertrophy. For left ventricular hypertrophy, any R in the standard limb leads more than 20, in the augmented more than 15, and in the chest lead more than 25, right? Or any S plus R, V1 and V6 more than 35. Remember those parameters? You have to carry that with you. Okay? So that is why I think there is right ventricular hypertrophy here. So let's go now to the waves. P wave. Anything here to wrap up about on the P wave? Okay, so everybody thinks the P wave is normal? Exactly. It looks like biphasic, right? It looks like a PMI rally, right? Especially here. And the duration, but the duration prolonged is really borderline, right? But that double hump P is there, right? Okay. How about the QRS? Do you see any Q wave? I'm glad you recognize the double hump nature of that P wave too. Is there a Q wave? Okay. Is it a pathologic Q wave? Good. Where is it? Exactly. Okay. The R wave we already talked about because that is how we define our right ventricular hypertrophy. Did it progress?
No.
Oh, good. So it didn't progress like you'd expected because it ends up being equiphasic in V2, right? And it's almost the same size as it is in V1 and V6. That is how it looks when you have right ventricular hypertrophy. Okay? So, but you can recognize that R wave didn't progress very well. Okay? Now, how about the QRS duration itself? Is the QRS duration prolonged or normal? It's normal. Excellent. How about the voltage, the QRS voltage overall? Apart from the right ventricular hypertrophy, you wouldn't see much about here. Now let me ask you a question then. Have we been able to explain the left axis? is causing, because the right ventricular hypertrophy will not cause left axis. So what do you think is going on?
LVH.
Exactly. So you have not LVH. You have left axis deviation second to left anterior fascicular block. Remember that. You cannot say LVH. Where is the LVH? Where is the criteria for LVH here? Yeah, they're overlapping, but in order for you to say LVH, one of these have to be more than 20, one of these has to be more than 15, the R wave, okay, have to be more than 15, and over here, any R has to be more than 20, or V1R for V6, V1S plus V1S plus V5 or V6R have to be more than 35, 7. That does not exist here. Okay, so I gave you this one because generally speaking, when they overlap like this, it's almost always LVH. But I need you to not base your EKG interpretation on casual appearance. Count the boxes. Okay? Just because it looks overlapping and looks like LVH doesn't mean it is. Count it. Make sure it fulfills the criteria. Right? And when you see left axis deviation with normal KRS duration, unless you have LVH, that explains the left axis, you must explain that left axis. We have RVH and left axis. So RVH for sure we know. That left axis we have to explain it. And if you cannot find left bundle branch block, right? You cannot find left ventricular hypertrophy, you must call it left anterior fascicular block. You got that? Mm-hmm. So that is what that's what your answer should be. All right? Any questions? Yes, if it is the left axis.
Oh no, it's not posterior.
Because it has to be a right axis. Yeah, exactly. Yes.
But you have to have a normal QRS duration, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if this is what say this, but the T's.
Yeah, the inverted T waves. There's a lot of inverted T waves
And there's some
all over the place.
Okay, inverted T wave. Where do you see the inverted T wave?
V1.
Yeah, V1. So that is a right ventricular hypertrophy with strength.
But the B2, yeah.
In V2, yeah. V1, V2, they're right sided. V5, V6, they're left sided. V4, V3 are right across the center. Alright? So, yes, the right ventricular hypertrophy with some kind of strain. Even though, I have to tell you, those T wave inversion over there, they're pretty symmetrical. Right? Yeah. You know. So, if you were to have called this ischemia, especially in the setting of the T wave, would anybody fault you? I don't think anybody will. Okay? But I didn't call it because my emphasis is what I wanted to convey with this was to make sure that just because the waves are overlapping does not mean you can assume that there is LVH. Count the boxes. Okay. So in your paper, circle that T-wave inversion because it's really very symmetrical. You know, yes.
Sometimes you said when we have a symmetrical and asymmetrical, just call it ischemia, not symmetrical.
Just to be on the safe side.
Just for your sake.
I also remember him saying that it wasn't a right ventricular hypertrophy, that was like strain.
Yes. Okay. What I tell you for practice and what you do for exam are different things. Now, if I was in practice, would I call this a strain? I would not. I will walk this patient up for ischemia. Why? Because I have a key wave. Right? But if I didn't have this Q wave, and I see this, even though it looks symmetrical, I don't have any Q wave, no ST's elevation or direction, I will assume that this is a strain looking like this. So practice and exam are two different situations. For your exam purposes, this is ischemia, not to prove it otherwise. Okay? Because in the EKG, you have Q wave, right? Okay? And what else can I say? Anything else? There's nothing else on that EKG. Did you see anything else? Are you good with this? Excellent.
So just a quick question. So You put inferior sparking. So,
Yeah.
would it be old one or a new one? I think it's an old one.
Exactly. If it is new, it will be associated with ST elevation. Remember, whenever there is a new infarction, at the same time there will be evidence of ischemia, there will be evidence of injury. Because infarction doesn't, myocardial cells don't just die. They die because of prolonged injury. So, and all of them don't die at the same time. Q wave means some have died. If they are dying right now, you will see evidence of the injured ones. So the infarct zone is a collection of dead, dying, and injured cells. Okay. Actually, it's more like dead, dying, and deprived cells. Ischemic, evidence will be there. Injury, evidence will be there. Death, evidence will be there. Okay? Are we good?
Yeah, can you go back to the answers real quick? Just the answers.
Well, why did you flip my video? That's not the way you like to do it. Okay. Alright, so let's do this next one. What happened here? What would you call this?
That's not QRS.
AV dissociation. Where is the V?
Because the atrium is sending the wave.
Yeah, the atrium is sending the P wave, but you're not getting any ventricular response. So what do you call that? Good. It's asystole, but it's not all asystole. This is a ventricular asystole because you have evidence of atrial contraction. You see, under normal circumstances, asystole is your flat line. But sometimes the ventricles die and the atrial go on for a couple of more beats before they quit. And sometimes it's the atrium that die and the ventricles go for a couple of more beats before they stop. So the flat line you see at death doesn't happen always flat. It doesn't go from PQRS to flat. Sometimes it will be PQRS, PQRS, P, flat. Or it will be PQRS, QRS, QRS, flat. Right? So this is ventricular asystole. Okay? What is this one? So this is gravity EKG, right? You all have this one, right?
Yeah.
Good. Excellent. So, let's go through it. Again, you have a left axis.
There's an RSR here.
No! Eloise! Eloise! Rate and reading is pretty good, right? So the rate is about what, 75, 70? Thereabout, right?
Yeah, that's good.
There is no sinus arrhythmia. It's very regular. So that's fine. So let's go now to orientation. It looks good. Right? I want you to notice that there is something prominent in AVR, but it's not R. Right? R is fine. Leave it alone. Okay. AVR is split, right? This is not a time to confuse you guys. Alright? Good. Now let's go to the waves. P wave, do you see it? Right?
It's inverted.
You see, okay, it looks like biphasic, right? Right? And there's nothing wrong with biphasic P wave, especially in V1. Remember, this is V1. Otherwise, it's upright in most of it. So P wave is fine, right? How about now, the QRS? Do you see any Q wave? Anybody see a Q wave? There is no Q wave. The Q wave is a first negative deflection. The R wave is a first positive reflection. There is no Q wave anywhere here, right? Good. Now, if there is no Q wave, let's go to the R. You see the RSR, right? So we have right bundle branch block.
That's not a negative. Like, where's the positive deflection before it was negative?
Wow. You mean you didn't see this blip? And this one? And this one?
Okay, I see it now.
Yeah. That little blip right there is an R wave, right? Yeah. You have to kind of look. Yes. Right? So now with the R, we see the RSR, right? Now, So there is a right bundle branch block, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have a right bundle branch block. We have a left axis. You all remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Good. Be careful. Finish the arrows. All right. Now, so the QRS duration, is the QRS duration prolonged? Good. Is the QRS duration prolonged? No, because that QRS, even with its RSR, it still fits right within half of the big box, right? So QRS duration is normal, and there is a left axis. You have to call it what? So there is an left anterior hemi block, right? Now, you have a left anterior hemi block, you have a right bundle branch block. It's not bifascicular until you know that the PR interval is normal. Are you kidding me? Let's look at the EKG. Just let's look at the EKG. We're still going arrows, right? Don't be presumptive. Go through arrows. If you don't go through it, you will miss something, and that will really hurt you. Now, so you've seen that, right? You've seen the RSR. What is the next thing we're supposed to do? The T wave, whenever there is a bundle branch block, you expect abnormalities of ST and T wave, so you don't call anything. Okay? If there's a right bundle, left bundle, you cannot rely on ST. That is why we don't do stress test when there's a left bundle branch block. Remember that. Yeah. Huh?
There's a left bundle branch block.
No, right.
Right.
Yeah, because the RSR is in B1. Right. It's the right bundle branch block. Right? But because of the left axis deviation, it's the left anterior fascicular block, right? In addition. Okay. And they want to call it fascicular block, bifascicular block. I'm like, wait, let's finish the arrows. So let's go to intervals and segments. PR interval, is it normal? No. So that means this person has a trifascicular block. The right bundle is gone. The left anterior fascicle is gone. The surviving posterior fascicle is not working right. And that is why you see the prolonged PR interval. Whenever you see a bifascicular block with prolonged PR interval, that is a trifascicular block. That means all the fascicles are blocked. This is a patient you will kill if you put him on beta blocker. You will put him completely in AV dissociation. Right? You got that?
Can you repeat that, Dr. Leonard?
Wait. I'll repeat it. But I want you, are you able to walk your way from the beginning to the end and get the trifascicular block you said?
Yeah, well, I see that there's a left axis deviation, and I see that there's a right bundle branch block.
Exactly.
But then, so we're doing the prolonged PR interval.
Yeah.
Is what makes it trifascicular.
Yeah, that's completely trifascicular. Remember I told you, anytime you have a discordant axis deviation and a bundle branch block, you must think bifascicular block. If this had been a right axis deviation, there would have been nothing to write home about. Because a right axis deviation is okay within the setting of a right bundle branch block. Right? So if this was a right axis deviation, I would simply have called this right bundle branch block with a first degree heavy block. That's it. I won't call it bifascicular block. Right. But because I have right bundle, but I have a left axis. Or I could have, well, it's almost impossible to have left bundle and a right axis. Oh, hey, why not? You could. Left bundle and a right axis. That again will suggest the bifascicular. Right? Remember, left axis deviation can be due to Jeba enlargement, right ventricular hypertrophy, or right bundle branch block. Posterior hemi block. Okay, are you with me? So this is a trifascicular block. What is this one? Okay, somebody thinks this is sinus arrhythmia. Y'all think this is sinus arrhythmia?
Is it a
PAC. Okay, yeah, help me understand. You think there is a PAC here. So you think which complex is the PAC? The fourth complex? You think the fourth complex is a PAC? Do you see a P wave? In order for it to be a PAC, you have to see a P wave. Thank you. It's a PJC, right? Because this patient had a normal sinus rhythm with regular PR interval in the first three complexes, right? And then this fourth complex came early. That's what makes it premature. It's missing a P wave, a normal P wave. So that's what makes it either a PJC or a PVC. But because it is narrow, that is what makes it a PJC. If it was wide, it would have been a PVC. You got that? Yeah. It is premature because it's early. It is not a PAC because it doesn't have a normal P wave. It could be PJC because it is narrow. And indeed it is PJC because it is narrow. It is not PVC because it is not wide. Okay? If it was wide, it would have been from the ventricle. Alright? So this is a premature junctional complex. This is the way you go through EKG. Just rate and rhythm. Pay attention to the rhythm. Are the complex complete? Is there any abnormal segment in it? Right? So how about this one? What do you see?
Yeah,
There you go. Because it's an inverted P, but it doesn't have a normal P. Right? So it's indeed that even confirms the fact that it's a junctional complex with retrograde AKG. But it's interesting that you put that up. Yeah, it's there. You got that? Yeah. Okay. Let's do this one. So here is our EKG. We have a rhythm strip. That looks pretty regular and everything looks okay. But the P wave is kind of weird, but we'll get there. So the rate and the rhythm are okay, right? On the rhythm strip, right?
The rate is a little fast.
It's a little, yeah, you're right. A little tachycardic, around 150, 160, right? Okay. Axis is normal, right? Come on, axis. Orientation, perfect, right? Okay, the waves. Look at the P wave. Does it look right?
No, it has a double.
Exactly. It has a clear double hump. Right? So that's prematurely right there, right? Then the QRS. First, we're going to look for Q. Is there a Q wave?
There's Q's on 3, right?
Is there a Q wave?
Q on 3, right?
Yes, in 3 there is a Q wave. There is a Q wave in 2 too, but it's not pathologic. Right? Because it's not deeper than 2 and it's not wider than 1. Right? So there's a Q wave in 2, but it's not a pathologic Q wave. In 3, for sure, there is a Q wave there. Right?
Yeah.
Now, how about the R wave? Are there any weird R waves? So is there any R wave that is more than 15 in the augmented limb leads, more than 20 in the standard limb leads, or more than 25 in the chest leads? Yes. In V2 you could see that is definitely, so that suggests that this patient may indeed have a left ventricular hypertrophy, right? Okay, so we'll put that in the corner there. Left ventricular hypertrophy seems to be apparent. We have a Q wave there. Now, how about the QRS duration? Is it normal? Yes, QRS duration is normal. So we're done. So whenever you talk about the waves, you look at the P wave, you look for Q, you look for R. There is no RSR pattern. Once you're done with the individual waves, you now look for their duration together. Is it prolonged? Is it short? Right? Yeah.
Can I clarify for the Q waves? Does it not need to be into congruent leads in order to be considered pathologic?
That's correct.
Okay, so for this one, since 2 is not considered deep or wide enough, would that still be considered 2 congruent leads? So this would be a pathologic Q wave?
Yes.
Okay.
All you need is pathologic Q wave in 2 consecutive leads.
Okay.
Since it is pathologic in 3 and ABF, we will call it. Even though it is present in 2, and it is not really pathologic, but it is present in AVF and 3. All you need is it has to be present in 2 consecutive weeks.
So if it wasn't an AEF, it would
If it
not.
wasn't in the AVF, you would just circle it and put a question mark.
Okay.
You won't call it. Right? So it's got to be present in 2 consecutive weeks. Deeper than 2, wider than 1, smallpox. Alright? Then, now, if you were in doubt of the P mitrale here, is there anything in V1 that confirms it for you? The question is, we think there is a left atrial enlargement here. My question is, if, say you were in doubt, you're not sure, like, is it wide or not? Is there a hump or not? Is there anything in V1 that definitely nails it down for you? I told you before, and I'm going to say it again. Whenever you have a biphasic P wave in V1, okay? Whenever the P wave is biphasic and the negative component is deeper than 1 small box, that is what you expect in left atrial enlargement. Very important that you don't forget that. A biphasic P wave in V1, where the negative component is deeper than 1 small box, confirms really left atrial enlargement. Okay? So
So the negative, you mean the S wave?
no. That's not S wave. This is a P wave that is biphasic. This portion of it is the negative portion. Whenever you have that biphasic P wave and that negative portion is more than 1 small square, that is left atrial enlargement. See, exactly, that is an biphasic P wave. The negative portion of it is this one. This portion, like see that? Yeah. Very important. I need you to remember that. Okay? So that is all about P wave. And then the QRS duration, we talked about. How about the intervals and segments? The PR interval, is it long?
No.
It's not long. How about the QT interval? Okay, QT interval seem okay. So you have the left atrial enlargement and left ventricular hypertrophy.
Also, that would be an elevation.
You have ST elevation where?
On V1, V2.
Not really. Remember I told you if it's like concave, like a cup, it's always J point elevation. If it's like a convex, then you call it. Like,
And you're calling it
go ahead.
Just to clarify, for left atrial enlargement, that's also known as M mitrale?
P mitrale.
Okay.
P mitrale.
I see.
It's an abnormal P wave as a result of a mitral valve disease when it was first discovered. Now we call the right atrial enlargement P pulmonale. It's an abnormal P wave as a result of pulmonary. Yeah.
So the biphasic.
Yes, that's a biphasic P wave. A normal P wave is supposed to be like this. Right? That's the normal P wave. A biphasic P wave is the one that is like this. Okay? This is a biphasic P wave. It is not in and of itself an abnormality, but whenever this negative portion of it is deeper than 1 small box, you have to call it left atrial enlargement. You got that?
And you're calling it LVH because the S plus the R in V2 or V1,
Yeah.
that's more than 7 big boxes.
It's more than 7 big boxes, and in fact, if you look at it, the R in yeah, that really is the reason. That's what makes it LVH. Yes. They are what?
Pretty tall.
Now, remember, for you to call it tall, he has to be more than 2.5. So he has to make 3 small squares for it to be tall. Right? You're right, it looks kind of tall, but if you count the small boxes, it's not up to 3.
Just confirm, this is a P mitrale, right?
This is P mitrale, yes. Because of the double hump.
Yeah.
This double hump. Remember, left atrial enlargement prolongs the duration of the P wave, whereas right atrial enlargement increases the voltage of it. So what you're looking at here is P mitrale, left atrial enlargement, because that is where the mitral valve is on the left side. Right?
Yeah.
Good. What is this?
Why?
What is this? Benny, what is this? Ashley, what is this?
Oh, it's the pacemaker.
Did we talk about pacemaker rhythm?
I don't think
Oh, yes, you did. I told, it's in your lectures in cardiology. Whenever patients carry a pacemaker, right? Thank you. You remember pacemaker spikes? Yeah, all of these, if the pacer is facing the ventricle, you will see the spike in front of the QRS. If the pacer is facing the atrium, you will see the spike in front of the P wave. If the pacer is facing both the atrium and the ventricle, you see a spike in front of both the P wave and the QRS. So these are all pacer spikes. So that tells you when the pacemaker fires. And then because it is followed immediately by a QRS, that means the pacemaker fired and it captured. We talked about this in cardiology. So this is a pace rhythm. And it's specifically ventricular pacing. Okay. When people carry pacemakers, on the EKG you will see pacemaker spikes. And pacemaker spikes are straight like this, like that. That's when the pacemaker fired that one. The wave that follows the pacemaker spike determines where the lead of the pacemaker is. If the pacemaker spike is followed by a P wave and a QRS, that means the pacer is in the atrium. If the pacemaker spike is in front of the QRS, that means it's a ventricular pacemaker. So it is the ventricle that is being paced. If the pacer spike is in front of both the P wave and the QRS, that means the person has a AV pacemaker, a pacemaker that paces both the atria and the ventricle. All right. So in this case, all of these are pacer spikes, and they're followed by white QRS. That tells you it's in the ventricle. And remember, I told you before, one of the causes of left ventricular left bundle branch block appearance is if somebody has a right ventricular pacemaker. What are you people doing? What are
You said if it's before the PQRS, then it's in the atrium, but then you also said if it's in front of the P and the QRS, it's then an AV pacemaker.
It's in front of both.
You have a pacer spike. If the pacer spike is in front of the P in the PQRS complex, that is an atrial pacemaker. If the pacer spike is after the P but before the QRS, then it's a ventricular pacemaker. If the pacer spike is in front, you see two pacer spikes. Two pacer spikes in front of both the P, one in front of the P, another one in front of the QRS, that is an AV pacemaker. It's pacing both the atrium and the ventricle. That's what I said. Is it clear now?
I didn't know the two spikes, but I was like, okay.
Okay, all right, okay. So this is a ventricular pace rhythm, right?
Yeah.
What is this? A junctional rhythm. Can you tell me whether it's a high, mid, or low junction?
It's a low. Wait. It's a low junction because the P is flipped after the QRS, right?
P Okay, think about it. If it is low, will it get to the ventricle before it gets to the atrium or high? Where the P wave is depends on where it gets to first.
Right.
So the fact that the P wave is in front of the QRS means
front.
exactly. So this is a high junctional rhythm. Okay?
See, I was thinking, I was confusing that for like a Q. Like I was looking at that and I thought that's QRS.
Oh no, actually, it's an
So it's
inverted
an
P.
inverted P, right?
Yeah. Correct. Got that?
Okay.
How about this one? So this is an EKG. The axis is kind of right. Right? Rate looks slow, right?
60.
But is this normal sinus? Because I know P waves, right? So this is not normal sinus rhythm, right? So what is it? Is it a idioventricular rhythm? What is it? It's not normal sinus rhythm. What is it? And why? Somebody talk to me. On what basis are you calling it? So you have to say that it's idioventricular for it to be accelerated. So are you saying that this is an idioventricular rhythm? So you're telling me that this QRS is wide. The QRS is wide,
Yeah.
right? You're with me?
Yeah.
Okay, you say it's wide. Yeah. Okay, now, so that is that. So it's a okay. Anything else?
What is that lip?
Where?
That one. No, what did you say? Right. Yeah, the lip strip, that one. No, that one.
This one?
It's like a
Yeah, tell me. So what happened here?
That's a good one.
Is that fire? Yeah, a good fire.
Exactly. So this person is really. I'm a little bit wondering why. I'm wondering why did you call it idioventricular rhythm? Is it really wide?
Yeah. It's more than 3 bucks.
Does it fill the box? Does it fill the box? Is there space?
Definitely more than 2.5.
Is there space? No, remember it's 3, not 20.
It's exactly a 3.
Yeah. Yeah. It is the QRS has to be more than 3. In other words, you cannot see more than one small box outside of it. If you can see more than one small box outside of it, it's normal. Are you with me? The normal QRS duration is 3 small boxes. Okay? It's 3 small boxes. It is wide when it is more than 3 small boxes. It is very difficult to tell when it's between half of a small box. So generally speaking, when you look at the QRS duration, you look on either side of it. Can you see a clear box? If there is a clear box, then it cannot be. If there is at least one clear box, you can't say it is prolonged. You can, for it to be prolonged, you have to fill the box. Are you with me? If you can see a clear small box on either side of it, then it's not really wide. So basically, this right here is somebody that went in the junctional rhythm and the atrium is still trying to come back. The SA node is still trying to come back to override the junctional rhythm, right? So and it's a mid-junctional rhythm, right? Why is it mid? Because the P wave is buried inside it.
But wouldn't it technically still be accelerated if it's more than 4?
It would have been accelerated if it is idioventricular. If it is idioventricular, it has to be wide. It can't be narrow. This is a narrow, complex rhythm. Are you with me? The only time you call it idioventricular is when it's a ventricular rhythm. And for it to be a ventricular rhythm, it has to be clearly wide. You got that? Right. So it cannot be. This is a junctional rhythm. And the P wave is absent because it's a mid-junctional rhythm.
That's really tricky.
Huh?
I say that's pretty tricky because like there's no P wave and it's actually buried in the QRS. So.
Exactly. That's why anytime you see narrow, what I want you to get really good at is knowing how to decipher QRS duration. Remember, normal QRS duration is 3 small boxes. So the best way to look is look for the QRS where it is at the beginning of the peak line and see, do you see at least one small box after it? If you can count, see at least one small box after it, then it's not really filling the whole box.
Yeah.
Don't look for it where it is straddling the border. Look for it where it is right there at the beginning and see, is there any extra space in that box after it? If there is any extra space at all after it and you could clearly see one small box after it, it is not prolonged. In order for it to be prolonged, it has to fill the entire box. Okay? So this is a mid-junctional reading. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Good.
Question.
Yeah.
So I was looking at this one. I was just observing the S wave in V3, and then I counted it to the all the way of V5. Would then you call this possibly an LVH, even though you don't have the axis in
Are we talking the same reading?
Yes.
So if you add V1,
V3 S plus.
why would you do that?
I thought you do 1, 2, or 3, right?
No.
It's just 1 and 2.
1 plus S in 1 plus R of V5 of 6.
Okay. I just have
Don't
to
use V2,
V3.
don't use V3, no.
Got it.
For LVH, you have to add,
Just V1.
I will send both of you out if I have to catch you again talking. So, for LVH, you have to add V1S to V5 or V6R. Okay? So, pay attention to this one. Yeah, I agree with you, Lance. It's pretty tricky. But this is a junctional reading, it's a mid-junctional reading, and this is SANO trying to come back. Got it? Any confusion? You cool? What is this? What is this?
Is that artifact or AFib? Is that AFib or
AV.
artifact?
It's pretty regular,
What's all that?
right?
What's all that?
All this quibbling in between. Artifact.
Okay.
Okay.
Right? It cannot be AV because it's pretty regular, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the rate is pretty regular. It's slow, right? The rate is slow, but it's pretty regular. But what is it? Good. Somebody said junctional reading? Thank you. So those are P wave after the T, right? This is a P wave, 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 this is a P wave coming after the T. You see it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is a low junctional rhythm, right? It took longer to get to the atrium, but it got to the ventricle first. So it depolarized the ventricle and then the wave followed, right? And it's inverted. You got it? So this is a low junctional rhythm. Now you've seen the three of them, how they could present, right? Excellent. What is this one? Again, let's start with the
Axis.
rhythm. The axis is what? It's normal. Rate and rhythm looks okay. No sinus arrhythmia, everything is good, right? Orientation, perfecto, right? Okay, let's look at the waves. Look at that P wave.
All right.
It's looking funky, right? Yeah, you see that? P wave is exactly. That P wave looks kind of tall, right? Is there a Q wave?
Yeah. On 3.
Are you kidding me? You didn't see that R?
What's ours?
What?
There's an R wave right there. You didn't see it? Look for it. There is an R wave in 3. Let's no key wave.
That's so true.
Do you see it?
Yeah.
Look at it right here.
This is a magnifying glass, bro.
Right?
We're gonna need some magnifiers.
That is why we carry magnifying glass sometimes. Right? Yeah, there is an R wave right there. So take a good look at the EKGs. Take a good look at them because the R wave can be sneaky sometimes. Right? So, looking at that, there is no key wave. But now, because you have identified that R wave in 3, you could see now that there is this RSR in V1, right? Right? Good. And the QRS duration is normal. Right? And anything else on the intervals and segments? Everything looks good. PR interval looks good. What do you have here? So this is a right atrial enlargement and incomplete right bundle branch block. Why did I say it's incomplete? Because the QRS duration is normal. Okay, if it was prolonged, it would be a complete right bundle branch block. But because the QRS duration is normal, it is an incomplete right bundle branch block. Right? Please, don't see Q wave where there isn't any.
Wait, go back.
This is EKG.
Today.
To the answers. Right atrial enlargement and incomplete right bundle branch block. I want you to not miss tiny R waves like this.
Why is it? Why'd you say it's incomplete again? I missed that.
Because the QRS duration is normal.
Okay.
And that is very common with right bundle branch block. All right. Are we good?
Yeah.
Excellent. The RSR? Yes. Because there is an R here, S, and another R. The second R is taller than the first R. Yeah, that is the same one in lead 3 over there. Over there. Yes, it's there. Yes, Wendy.
Is a right atrial enlargement?
Right atrial enlargement, yeah. Anytime you see a P wave that is more than 2.5, so whenever your P wave is hitting 3 small boxes, it's too tall. If you can count 3 small boxes under your P wave, that is an enlarged right atrium. You shouldn't be able to count 3. If you can count 3, that P wave is too tall. You shouldn't be able to count 3. If it's supposed to be 2.5. Okay. Pay attention. Most R waves in RSR, sometimes, not most, they will be like this. It's not going to be obvious all the time. You have to pay attention, take a look at it. Just remember that after your PR interval, a first negative deflection is a Q, and a first positive is an R, and everything that follows thereafter. If it's S, it's an SQ. S, what? QRS. QRS, right? If it's an R, it's an RQ. Okay? Good. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do the next one. What is this? Okay, so there's a clear left axis and normal QRS, and there is RSR in V1 again, right? So you have a left axis and RSR, and everything is pretty much okay. What do you think is going on here? And what is the PR interval? Good. So this is a clean, straightforward biparticular block. You got it? Okay. So it's a left axis. Rate and reading, no reading street. We have to go by what we have. Looks okay. Orientation is fine. Right? We look at the waves. P wave is obvious in this one. It looks normal. Right? QRS, there is no Q wave because we have R in all of them. Right? But there's an RSR in V1. So that makes it a right bundle branch block. Now remember, we already said there is a left axis deviation. When you have the left axis deviation in the setting of right bundle branch block, your antenna should go out for biparticular block. Because what you expect in a right bundle branch block is a right axis, not a left axis. When you have a left axis, then something is wrong. That means the anterior particular block is gone back to, right? Especially when the QRS duration is normal. And you can see the QRS duration is normal here. Okay? Alright? So this is a biparticular block. Alright? You know, I told you in the earlier EKG lecture, when you look at EKG, some things will jump at you. You have to learn to write them down, make a note of it, and continue. Finish the arrows. Finish the arrows. Don't stop because you identify two things. No. Finish the arrows, because if you don't, you will miss something. You know? Excellent. Are you good with this? Okay, it looks like you guys enjoyed this a lot more.
Yeah, it's better when it's being played.
That's what I'll do going forward. Yeah. It's the first time I'm doing it. I thought everybody could see, but when I went close to the camera, I could see nothing. I was like, they're managing, and people keep going to the back. What is with this guy?
He has BPH. He needs to.
Yeah, like BPH or something.
What was it? UTI. What?
It's a little water.
How is tapping on your name? Alright. What is this? What is this? AV dissociation? She said no. Thank you.
There's no.
Why do you say AV dissociation? PR is constant.
Yeah.
In AV dissociation, you can never have constant PR.
It's a second degree.
Thank you. It's a second degree type 2 cis morbis, right? Yeah. It could look like AV dissociation, but if you pay attention, look at the PR interval. PR interval is constant. In AV dissociation, one thing that jumps at you is PR is long shot, all through. Okay? So this is morbis, and you call it 3 to 1, right? So 3 to 1 type 2 second degree cataracts. All right. Any question on this one?
No.
You're cool? All right. What is this? So axis is left, right? Rate and reading. A little sinus arrhythmia, right? You see it's closer here, farther apart here, but at least a box, right? So there's some sinus arrhythmia here, but nothing to write home about. What else? Nothing else. Okay. But rate is okay too. Orientation. What about orientation here? It looks okay, right?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong. The waves. P wave.
P waves.
There is no Q.
No Q.
And the R waves, they progressed and became equiphasic almost in B4, right? So what is wrong with this image? Left axis and normal QRS direction. What do you have? Left anterior particular block and sinus arrhythmia. That's it. You got that?
Complex. If we go back.
Yeah, I know, this crazy one, right?
Yeah, what is that crazy?
I don't know. Some alien complex.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. It's undocumented.
yeah.
I don't know what that thing is.
Damn.
I don't know.
Undocumented.
Oh, Dr. Morris, I have a question.
Sure.
Is it safe to say that for like second degree movements, there will usually be like 2 P waves on the side?
No, what makes it a heart block is that you have unconducted P waves. So you have excess P waves. That's what makes it a second degree heart.
But do you see what I'm saying? Because let's say this QRS right here, there's technically 2 P waves in front of one.
Say it again?
You see that one they just put the green pointer on?
Yeah.
Technically 2 P waves in front of one. So that's why find a QRS that has 2 P waves.
Yes, yes, yes. You remember, once you see excess P waves, you know this is second degree. Now the question is it Wenke back or Morbius? So you now look at the PR interval. If the PR interval is progressively prolonging before that P wave is dropped, that is a Wenke back type 1, second degree. And the way you name that is you count it backwards. You know, like we said, you always Wenke back, you name like this. Morbius, you name. Wow, it's traveling so far. Like that. So since you know that there is excess P wave here, you know this is the second degree heart block. Now the question is it Wenke back? You look at the PR intervals. PR interval, constant, constant. This one was dropped, right? This one was conducted, but PR interval stays the same. So PR interval is not varying. That is what makes it second degree Morbius type. How do you now name it? Well, if I give you all of these, you will name it with the worst severe category. Because if I stop the strip here, you will call it 2 to 1. But since I gave you the strip completely, you call it 3 to 1. You call it this, you rank it to the highest severity. You got it? Yes. And this is the one. Are you good, Wendy?
Yes, I'm good.
All right. All right, what is this? Good. David said it looks like M5. Is it?
No.
For it to be M5, it's got to be tachycardic, right? Is it tachycardic?
Yeah.
What is the rate?
100. It's like 1.
Remember how to do it, right? You count front and back.
15.
Right? So let's start from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we do this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times 20. So the rate is 140. So it's definitely tachycardic. But is it multifocal? Yes, it is multifocal because we could tell at least 3 different kind of fluids here. Right? This is not like this and not like this. Right? And then they're all kind of funky ones downstream. Right. So everybody knows this is multifocal atrial tachycardia, right? Right?
Yeah.
Excellent. And now what is this? Axis is normal. Rate and rhythm are fine. Orientation is perfect. Waves. What do you think about that P wave?
Which one?
Exactly. That P wave looks white, right? And is there anything else that can help you nail it down? Look at that V1. It has a biphasic P wave, right? And the negative component of it is more than 1 box.
You said before you're
Yeah.
Which one?
The P wave is biphasic in V1.
Are you saying V2 or V2?
Have you ever heard me talk about biphasic P in anything but V1? It's just like RSR. You could find them anywhere, but the only place where they matter is in V1, V2, V5, V6. So you can have biphasic P wave anywhere, but the only place where it gives you something is when it is in V1, and when the negative portion of it is more than 1 small box. Yeah, right here.
You can see both.
Right, it's over here. This P wave here, is not normal. It's biphasic. Because a normal P wave, I just erased it. A normal P wave is supposed to be like this. Right? That is what normal P wave looks like. Right? A biphasic P wave is the one that is like this. Right? Right? It's biphasic when it has a positive and negative segment. Now, the negative portion is this segment right here. When this segment right here is more than 1 big small box,
Yeah, 15 something.
strongly convey a left atrial enlargement. Okay, so I say, when you look at the rhythm strip and you are not sure what that P wave is doing, is it prolonged or not? You look at the V1. Almost always you will see a biphasic P wave in V1 with a negative component that is more than one small box. You got that? What else is on this EKG? So we just talked about the waves. There are no Q waves, right? Does anybody see a Q wave?
No.
There is no Q wave. And the R progress, sort of. Equiphasic in V4. Looks okay, right? And how about the T wave? T wave inversion in the lateral leads, right? Is it strain or ischemic?
It looks symmetrical to me.
It's asymmetrical, right?
Yeah.
But when you look at V4, it's really symmetrical in V4, right? But what does it matter if whether it's symmetrical or not? Why is there a strain? There is no chamber enlargement. Why does strain matter here? Right, but it's there. I will take it away from you. So you have left hand enlargement, you have first degree. Oh, God. The PR interval is prolonged. See why you have to finish Airways? I missed that because I didn't finish Airways. What did I do?
I said.
So you see, PR interval is prolonged, right? Remember I told you, finish Airways. That is the risk you take. Getting distracted by other stuff that jumping at you and you forgot the arrows. Because definitely there's a first degree outbreak there. So you have lateral ischemia, more completes in lead 1 and AVL, like Christian said, for sure there is left atrial enlargement. Not because it's obvious in lead 2, but because that negative deflection in V1 makes it like, it's there. Okay, you got that? What is this? Go back.
Oh, lateral ischemia, right?
Yeah, lateral ischemia.
You would say ischemia more than strain?
Yes.
Because it's more severe.
Because I don't have a reason for strain. In order for me to have a strain, I have to have a chamber enlargement. There is no chamber enlargement. I don't have LVH. How can I call strain in the absence of LVH? You know what I mean? So whenever you see what looks like strain, and you don't have LVH, that is just an odd looking ischemic clinically. Okay?
So I mean, if you saw LVH there, you would.
I will call it, if I see LVH, I will call it.
Would that change the workup though?
Yes, you will. I mean, you don't make walk-up decisions just for EKG, right? You look at the old risk factors, right? Patient is a smoker, hypertensive, diabetic. I see this EKG, even if I see LVH, something will give me because of the risk. Right? Excellent. All right. What is this? Bayfield. Everybody got that? What is this? So again, axis is left, rate. I don't have this rhythm straight. We're going to assume it's normal, right? It's about 100. Orientation is perfect. Waves, is there any key wave? None, right? No. The R wave, something is wrong with this R wave progression. It never progressed. It got to B6 before it even showed evidence of equilibrium. So this is poor R wave progression. Okay, for sure there is poor R wave progression. And then, what else is here? Of course, you all know there's a left ventricular block, right? Yeah. Okay. Because it has a left axis and key regulation is normal. And therefore R wave progression. And left ventricular hypertrophy you saw because of that R wave in AVL. Okay. Remember that any R wave more than 15 in augmented, 20 in standard, 25 in chest lead makes the diagnosis of LVH. Okay? Remember that. You cannot forget the criteria for voltage for LVH and RVH. You got to carry that with you all the time. Okay? Are you with me?
Yeah.
Good. Moving on. What is this?
That's our slots.
What is the SAC? VTAC, exactly. What is this?
Right, actually.
Good. Somebody said dextrocardia. Everybody agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. So how are you guys feeling right about now?
I like this section. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, so this is what we'll do going forward. I'll print it out and then for all the reviews, since it works better for you guys. Good luck.
Thank you.